What is up, guys? So today we're going to talk about movie nerds in prison, TVs in prison, and I'm going to talk about Muslims forcing other inmates to convert to Islam. Is it a thing? I've seen loads of people talk about it. So I'm just going to give my opinion, and that's the key word. It's just my opinion based on my experiences. I've spent years in prison. You all know my story. I'm in recovery, recovering drug addict. I make videos trying to inspire people, motivate people, talk about the truth, what prison is like. And, you know, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's emotional, but it's real and it's raw. So let's get into it. Now, movie nerds in prison. Everybody loves movies in prison because it's a big thing. There's nothing else to do. So when they brought the TVs in, that was like, nice one, buzzing. And what they used to do in Donny is they had two channels, like say Channel 9, Channel 10. Channel 9 was a video channel, Channel 10 was a DVD channel. And they used to put like a little poster up each week saying Monday, The Exorcist and Bad Boys. Tuesday would be Friday the 13th and Shawshank Redemption. And what they would do is they would put it on loop so you could watch it whenever you want. That was the first time I watched 300, which is an absolutely brilliant movie. And Sin City as well, I love that one. It's got Paul Venice in it. So yeah, that's what they used to do. They'd put it on loop and you could kind of watch it whenever you wanted. And I remember when they put out see back then there wasn't an internet. You know, if you wanted to see a movie, you had to go to the cinema or just buy it on DVD. You know, you couldn't just watch it online. So they got I can't remember what it was. It were Lord of the Rings. I think it was the second one. I'm not 100%, but everyone was really excited about it. And I'm not a big fan of Lord of the Rings, but there's a lot of nerds in prison that are secret undercover nerds. And I remember that night when it was on, see, they would start the movie at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and then just put it on loop so you could watch it when you want. And they put it on at 3 o'clock and you used to have your dinner at like, I think it was 5, and it was on for like 3 hours or something. And I remember that night, the whole wing was really quiet. I was like, wow, it's eerily quiet. It felt like someone was going to get done in or something. That's how quiet it was. I thought, fucking hell, what's happening here? And they've let us out for tea, and I've come out, there's nobody there. I'm like, there was probably like 2 people going to get the tea. And usually when they let you out, it's packed. You know, everybody's shouting, get this, get that, get some sugar, get some coffee. Have you got any sauce? Have you got this? Have you got that? And then you go and queue up and get your dinner. Well, this night there was nobody there. It was eerily quiet. And everybody was banged up watching Lord of the Rings. And it was just so surreal to see. But yeah, you see some good movies in prison. I remember watching, I can't remember what it was, a really scary movie. I think it was Insidious, something like that. And just as I was watching this scary movie, you know, it was all building up for a jump scare. One of my posters fell down. It went, I was like, fucking hell, I absolutely shit myself. So yeah, movies is a big thing in prison. I don't know if they still do that. They probably don't. But I've seen some really good movies in prison. I remember one of my pad mates. He was rattling, and he was he'd not slept. You know, he was always moving about. He was going through it. And I remember one night they put, I think it was Green Mile or Shawshank Redemption. You know, a really good. I think it was Green Mile, a really good movie. The really emotional movie. And I remember he sat watching that movie. You know, he'd been rattling all week, he couldn't keep still. But then when we started watching this movie, Green Mile, he sat on his chair watching it and he didn't move the whole way through. And at the end, his lip were going. That's how good a movie it is. He was so engrossed in it. So yeah, movies is a big thing in prison. And there's always people in there, you know, like want to be tough guys. Say, oh, I don't care about my TV. Check it, I don't care. I'll do it behind my door. Fuck that, mate. I want my TV. You know, it makes the time go better. You know, you can watch telly and you can forget that you're in prison, even if it's just for an hour. But yeah, you really need your TV in prison. And somebody says, some good advice on what to take to prison if you know you're going. Well, it all depends, you know. If you're a drug addict, I've got a little tip for you, what I used to do. See, you can't do what I used to do. I used to put loads of Valium around my waistband, and you could like stash drugs on your body, and then you could probably get it through. But now they've got like an X-ray chair where they can see everything. So I don't know how they get it in now, but what I used to do, which I've never seen anybody talk about it, I used to get a t-shirt, a black t-shirt, and I would get some heroin, heat it up, and when you do that it turns into like a brown lump, and I would peel it off the foil, stick it on the t-shirt on the inside, and then when you're coming in, if you do like 4 or 5, you know, they come in, they'll check it, they'll probably think, it's just a bit of dirt or a bit of mud, scruffy cunt. You know what I mean? They don't know it's heroin. And I've done that loads of times. I've never been caught, and I've never seen anybody talk about it. But yeah, if you're going to prison, the best things to take is just make sure you've got private cash so you can buy what you want, you know. And it all depends on what prison you're going to. You know, if you're going to a prison where you can wear your own clothes, then you want to take some decent clobber. I know in Doncaster you used to be able to have bed sheets and a pillowcase. I don't know if you can now. Maybe take a couple of posters with you. And your first canteen, the best thing you've got to stock up on, if you're a smoker, vapes. I think they sell vapes now. Shower gel, toothpaste. Make sure you've got all your hygiene stuff, because nobody likes people that smell in prison. You know, there's plenty of time to go in the shower, so there's no excuse to walk around with musty armpits. You know, well, yeah, that's the best thing to take with you. A bit of private cash so you can buy what you need. Stock up on hygiene products. Make sure you've got all your smokes. And munchies, you don't really need munchies because they give you plenty of food while you're in there. I mean, you might be a bit hungry at the start, but once you're adjusted, you'll be all right. And this whole thing about Muslims strong-arming like other prisoners, threatening them to convert to Islam, I've never seen that. I have seen dudes convert to Islam, but they wasn't forced into it, you know. They were doing it by choice. And I know a lot of people used to do it to try and get better food. I don't know if it works. I don't know what kind of food they have that's different to ours. But yeah, some people would pretend that they were Muslim just to get better food. I remember when I got celled up with a Muslim guy, and he, when he first came in there, I don't know if he was trying to convert me, but he was constantly like passing me books, saying, "Oh, read this. Yeah, you should read this. You should get into this." And at the start, I was polite, you know. I was like, yeah, I'll have a look. Yeah, I'll have a look. But then he kept badgering me, you know. He kept pecking in my head, and I started getting more frustrated. I'm like, and in the end, I just was like, I don't want to read your books, mate, you know. And I just ended up having to get rid of him and get somebody else in. And that, you know, that's all I've seen from that. I've never seen anybody like get bullied into turning into a Muslim or into Islam. I've never seen it, but things have changed now, you know. I've not been locked up for a while. There's a lot more Muslims, or there's a lot more people in the prisons now. Back when I was doing time, there was only probably like 10 or 20 Muslims on each wing. There was always a strong, well-organised group, you know. They were always immaculately dressed, plenty of money, and they used to get other inmates to do the bidding. So yeah, and that's not me being mean or racist. That's just what I saw with my own eyes. There was always a very well respected, well-established group, but I never saw anybody forcing anybody to turn to Islam. But yeah, but anyway, that's the video for today. If my advice is always the same: stay well away from prison. It's crap. Anybody that says it's a holiday camp, they're just losers, aren't they? I mean, prison can be devastating. If you've got kids, if you've got a job, if you've got responsibilities, wife, and that first night in prison when you're laid in your cell thinking about your kids, thinking about your wife, you know, it can be devastating. And you get idiots saying, "Oh, it's a holiday camp, it's Butlins." That's a good one. "Oh, it's Butlins, we had a swimming pool." Well, if that's your opinion, then you're a fucking loser, aren't you? Prison is boring, it's miserable, it's crap. You know, you have to eat what they tell you to eat. You have to do what they tell you to do. But if you know, we don't live in a perfect world. People make mistakes. So if you do end up in prison, what I would say is just don't, like when I first started getting locked up, I was always trying to impress people, you know, running around, oh, he's aggressive, right, let's get him in showers. And, you know, half the time they're not aggressive anyway. So my advice would be keep yourself to yourself, you know, just try and have a laugh, take advantage of everything around you. You know, you could do courses in prison. You can get an education. There's people in there learning how to read and write, and that's the way to do it. Don't do what I did, just messing about all the time. You just end up on basic. They'll take your TV, and it just makes your time harder. So yeah, stay away from prison. But if you do end up there, just get your head down, take advantage of everything, document everything. I wish I had now. I'd have had way more stuff to talk about, but I've forgot half the shit what I went through. But anyway, that's the video for today. If you like it, press the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Nerf the pap.